All right, gang, it's Wednesday. You know what that means? A new coordination challenge. Make sure I can actually see everything on the screen. So yeah, we are going to do something that's going to require a fair amount of focus, some hand-eye coordination, and maybe even a little bit of mobility just because of how you have to sit. For those of you who've been training with us for a while, we've done this before in the class, but now I'm going to issue it as a bit of a challenge. So if you want to follow along, I'm going to walk you through both what would be like a decent maybe warm-up for this challenge, but also like a nice little movement break for the day, or even any one of these little drills as we build up would be good individual challenges if and when you find them to be challenging. So all you'll need is a tennis ball and somewhere to kind of sit in this straddle position. So we're going to start here. I'm going to be watching the clock. We're going to bounce the ball with your right hand for 1 minute. The idea here is that we're focusing on this single task. And just like all of these challenges, it's not so much in the completing that's important, it's just in the doing. But I do want you to take it seriously and play seriously, like you're trying to achieve it. There's like a dynamic there that's very important. You want to play as hard as you can, but it's not to win, it's just to play. Okay, switch hands. This will likely be the non-dominant hand for some of you, so start small and focus. If you miss a step or miss a bounce, don't worry, grab the tennis ball and just begin again. We're going for 1 minute. May even be worth having another tennis ball nearby so you don't have to chase it. Okay, there's 1 minute. Now we're going to alternate hands. Left, right, left, right, left, right. As any of these start to become easier as you practice this, you can always speed things up. But just like any new skill or anything coordination based, better to be accurate and a little bit slower in the beginning than to worry too much about speed early on. It will come, but it's one of those things you have to earn. You may want to play with what it feels like to go with the fingers as opposed to the palms, or back and forth. Just get a good feel for the tennis ball here. Pay attention to what the rest of your body is doing. Are you tight? Are you loose? Are your hips burning? Okay, 3 minutes of bouncing there. That in and of itself is its own challenge. Can you do any of those or all of those in a row unbroken? So now we're going to get a little bit more complex. Anyone who's maybe played any sort of percussion instrument, or maybe even band in general. I didn't grow up playing too much music, but I think this comes from that world. We're going to play with a rhythm called Paradiddle. And essentially what happens here is it's a left, right, left, left, right, left, right, right kind of rhythm. So every time you go through the cycle, the other hand ends up doubling up somewhere. So what that looks like with the tennis ball would be paradiddle, 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 right, left, right, right, left, right, left, left. I think it's easier to say paradiddle out loud. It gives you some cues to go off of. and it's just one more tool to kind of get your focus fully on the task at hand, which is to go for a full minute here with the paradiddle. So we'll go again. Paradiddle, 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 more than a minute that time. So a little bit more focus, the rhythm changes each time. You have something with the verbal and then your hands going simultaneously. So the full challenge for this week's coordination game is to complete this paradiddle, and with the hand that's not doing the double bounce, you're going to touch someplace on your face. The three different places we're going to touch are going to be your forehead, your nose, and your chin. 3 spots, and the reason 3 is important here is because if we go left hand forehead, right hand nose, left hand chin, the next time through will be right hand forehead, left hand nose, right hand chin. So it changes each time. These odd numbers are important for increasing the coordination challenge. So as you go for the paradiddle, practice getting the full minute maybe first, but once that's achieved, on the double bounce on your right hand, we'll touch your left finger to your forehead. On your double bounce on your left hand, we'll touch your right finger to your nose. On the next double bounce with your right hand, left finger to the chin, double bounce left, right finger to the forehead, double bounce right, left finger to the nose, double bounce left, right finger to the chin. And that would be the full cycle. The challenge is to go for an entire minute without breaking. So I'll show you what it looks like. Hopefully I can pull this out just first try, but enjoy the struggle and the challenge. So it may help just to start with the paradiddle, and once you have that rhythm down, start the touches. Get the point. Something I can still work on, and I promise to show you a minute of the completed challenge here after a little bit of practice, but go for it. It's something where at first it'll feel impossible, and each of these little coordination challenges, I like to issue you some ways of thinking about it, but the more and more you go through it, I want to encourage you to look at the end task and try and break it apart yourself first rather than jumping right to the tutorial. Like I said, after you've gone through the process a few times, there's a ton of value in trying to dissect the entire thing all at once and pull it apart in your own way. That process, I think, has, like I said, a lot of value, a lot of merit. It's hard to really quantify what exactly it adds. It's not like another rep or a PR weight, but there is some increased maybe movement IQ or ability physically that comes as a result, and it adds to the total package. And just like I've explained a whole bunch of times before, I kind of look at it as free training in the sense that it's not going to leave you very smoked afterward. Doesn't require a ton of energy, but you can easily tack it on to any training session or even use this as like a little movement break during the middle of your workday, or first thing in the morning. So give it a shot and keep an eye out for my completed minute.